everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of The Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on The Kim Jacobs Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. And as many of you know, today we are going to be doing a segment called Ask Kim. So a lot of people write in, they ask a lot of questions. I usually answer the questions throughout answer them when I'm walking or when I'm doing some exercises, and I'll just pick a question that's come in and answer it on my walk. But I thought this would be an awesome opportunity for us to just spend some time together. And I feel like we're spending one-on-one time. So if you ask me a question, I will be honored. If I know the answer anyway, I'll be honored to answer the question for you. So you can just put your questions in the comment section. I'll also read some that's already been inboxed or emailed or text to me and different things. And I will answer those questions as well. I'm so glad that I have this opportunity as a host to spend this time with you. And it's not a time of anything other than just us having a moment to just talk. And you get to know me and me get to know you some, okay? We don't get a chance to do that often when I'm interviewing people consistently. You see me as the interviewer, but you don't get the opportunity to just learn more about Kim, who's hosting the show. This show is all about how people balance different aspects of our lives. What have we had to overcome to become who we are today? Because lots of people have juggled a lot of different circumstances, situations, and they've come out as a bright, shining star, in my opinion, anyway. So I am honored when I bring guests on that share their backstories, and then that gives you the opportunity to see what piece of the puzzle they may have that may be that missing piece of the puzzle in your life. So Mackenzie's backstage helping me. Thank you, Mackenzie. And on today's episode of Ask Kim, let's go and see who's in the virtual studio audience. I know people are flooding in, and so I see you all popping in, and let me know where you're visiting in from so you can start popping some of the comments up. Hola to you, Yana. How are you today? What another great segment, Ask Kim. Hey, Dr. Lotus Richey. And I think I will be putting my glasses on when it comes time to answering those questions because I have to read the question. All right, Dr. Lotus Richey Ignites show. Make sure you all check that out. And she also has a broadcast called News You Can Use and Books That Boom. So make sure you all check that out. Also, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this link here in the comment section in case anybody wants to pop on the screen with me and ask me a question directly on the screen. I'll be happy to pop you in. Let's see who else is on, Mackenzie. Hello. Hey, Dr. Lotus. Kim, what is the hardest part of doing your show? All right, let's get this party started. All right. The hardest part of doing the show for me is, the hardest part of doing the show is when I have a situation that comes up and it happens during my show. I'll give you an example. The school was calling and they sent out an alert saying that, hey, we are dismissing on an emergency basis. They sent the communication out at 11:10 and they wanted everyone to be picked up by 11:45. Well, we don't live close to the school. So I was totally frazzed for a second because I was like, wait, what? I'm live. I was in the middle of doing a graduation or something here on the show. And so immediately their father, their brother, everybody, their grandma, everybody start communicating heavily to say, what? JLo needs to be picked up. JLo. So I was like, okay, we need to figure out an emergency plan of action so that we know that if the show is happening, what plan B is. And so I communicated with everyone and said, someone go and get her immediately. I'm doing the show. And it worked out smoothly. But I think that's the hardest part, Dr. Lotus, is something that happens mid show. And I'm right here live. And what do? You're on a live show. You have to execute some kind of way quickly. Other questions, comments, where people are visiting in from. Oh, this is great. This is great. Yes, I'm glad that you tuned in today. All right. I'm definitely gonna have to take some water because y'all can tell y'all gonna have me in the hot seat. So y'all ain't gonna be playing around with me all day. Watching from Ireland. Hey Gladys, how are you? Glad to have you today. Hello, blessing. And your blessing being here today. Good morning. Blessings to you as well, Frank. Hello, hello. All right. Any other questions coming in so far? What we'll do is we'll take a quick commercial break. We'll come back and I'm sure you all will have some questions. And plus, I have questions that's already come in, so we'll start answering those. But welcome to today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. It's a segment called Ask Kim. Ask me some questions. Ask me questions that you may need that would be answers for your own life, too. Don't feel like you only have to ask me about my life. What are some things that I can do as the balance doctor? I'm Kim Jacobs, the balance doctor. I have 5 children, lots of hats that I wear. What can I answer for you that may make your life just a little bit easier on this journey called life? We're going to take a commercial break and we'll be right back, everyone.
It's not just another day, it's a brand new day, full of all the fun, love, and laughter you and your family create. Silver Shield Security understands feeling at home means feeling safe and happy. No credit checks, no contracts. We offer payment arrangements, and we'll even give you a free door camera. Find out how we can brighten your day even more at silvershield-security.com. Silver Shield Security.
All right, everyone, we are back, and today we're doing an Ask Kim segment. I'm Kim Jacobs, the balance doctor, wear lots of hats, and I'd be happy to answer some of your questions. I see you, Aaron. You said hello to you. Let me put my glasses on to make sure I can read all of your comments and stuff and questions. Let's see. Any others so far that came in? Good morning from Memphis, Tennessee. I see RTG. How were you able to face your fear? Gladys, that's a great question. And the way that I'm able to face my fear is by kind of dealing with it head on. I believe that fear is, as someone has said, I don't know who said it, but false evidence that appears real. And so when it comes to fear, I look at it as an illusion, if that makes sense. So I will look at fear and I say, okay, this is here. This is real because fear is real to me and in some regard because I don't want to do certain things that I don't feel comfortable doing. And if I don't feel too comfortable doing them, then I choose to just not do those particular things. But when it comes to fear of something that I know that's going to help my business become better, or that's going to help my family in a better capacity, or that's going to help me spiritually, or whatever area that I know is for my good, but I'm just somewhat afraid of it, then I look that fear in the face and I say, okay, you know what? We have to come up with a creative solution for me to get to the other side of this situation. So when it comes to me quitting in different regards, Gladys, what I believe is if there is a way for me to go over this situation, around it, under it, or through it, I will look at all of the options before I just succumb to the situation and be like, I'm afraid I'm not going to do this. No, there is a way, there's a will, there's a way. And like Les Brown often says, how is not my business. Yes, I might be afraid and it may be a hard thing to do, but I'm good at doing hard. I can do hard things very well. So that's what I do. I just face fear and I decide that, is this something I'm going to accomplish? Is this something I'm going to just tackle and go through it? And I come up with a plan of action to do that. And sometimes it works out the way I thought, Gladys, and other times it does not, because sometimes it involves other people in that mixture, and you can't control anybody else or their fear. So hopefully that answers your question. And if it didn't, ask it even further. Go ahead. Anybody else? What was the funniest show that I've ever had? Hmm. You asked me some good questions, Dr. Lotus. Let me put some music, some of this like background music stuff that's copyright free. Because other than that, you can't play anything or it's going to put a copyright claim. Let's see. Hold on. While I'm waiting here and thinking. Yeah, kind of like Jeopardy, like give yourself a second to think it through. Okay, let's see. What's the funniest show? Well, I'm trying to think. The funniest show that I've done, I can't think. You know what? That's the funniest piece. I'm not a big comedy person, so it takes a lot for me to be like, oh, good gut wrenching laugh. I'm like, this is silly. I'm not interested in this. But I think one of the funniest shows is when I had a lady on, and she's color me actress, and she was able to kind of convert her voice into all of these different like characters. And actually my guest recently that just came on, he was able to do the same thing, go into like different characters with his voice, and they sound just like the people. I'm like, this is amazing. So it wasn't so much funny, but it was entertaining. That wow, I cannot believe that these people can use their voice and change it and become a chameleon and do all other kinds of voices. So I would say that those were the funniest moments. Any other questions? Charity says, how do you determine if you are feeling from your heart or from your head? Great question, Charity. How do I determine, or how do you determine if you're feeling from your heart or from your head? I think personally that I can only speak for myself, that my heart and my head are working synergistically and they are combined. So I believe that God puts things in my heart to do, and then I command my head to do it so that it falls in alignment with what I want to actually execute on. So for me, I believe that if God puts something in my spirit that's good, it's a good thing. That's something that I want my heart and my head to become one, and let's make that particular thing become a reality. So I talk from my heart to my head and I say, okay, this is what my heart is feeling about this, but how do I get it into my mindset to be able to really master it? Like one example I'll give is I know certain things that I want to do on behalf of my son in honor of him, our organization, Gabe's Heart Foundation. And so my heart is all in, Charity, okay? So when it comes to me executing on anything, I wear this button every day. You all may all automatically see it, Gabe's Heart. Gabriel Michael Jacobs is my son, and he transitioned home to heaven at the age of 12. So anything that I do on behalf of Gabe's Heart is in my heart forever. But sometimes the finances or something may be missing there for me to execute it. And my head is like, well, you don't have this, or you're not prepared for this, or whatever it is. So it starts to try to change my heart. And I have to gain control and say, no, that is not something that I'm going to entertain, because God put it in my heart and he's going to provide me with the proper resources for me to execute keeping Gabe's heart beating and doing it Gabe's way, which is through all of these different random acts of kindness. So yeah, heart and head need to work synergistically. Next question. Dennis is wanting to know, and this is a great question, Dennis, how can I discover my personal God-ordained life's purpose and mission? I can tell you that the way that I did it is I went on a personal journey and I sought the answer from God. I wanted to have a personal one-on-one communication to say, Lord, please be willing to put something in my heart, something in my path, so that I can start seeing what is it that I'm supposed to be doing to salt this earth. I believe that all of us, Dennis, every single one of us, we have gifts, we have talents, and we're all put here on this earth for a specific reason, for a specific purpose. Now, your purpose and my purpose may not be the exact same thing. We all have different beliefs. And so we hang our soul and our hat on different things. And there's no condemnation from me as to what another person chooses to do. But I believe in God. I believe in heaven. I believe that ultimately I'll reunite with my son in heaven and many of my loved ones that have transitioned home. So for me, that hope helps me to be able to have a future hope of where things are going to happen well beyond what is happening on this earth. So when it comes to identifying my life's purpose, I wanted to find out, what am I good at? What is it that you think I'm good at, God, that will be able to be a blessing, a benefit to those that would ever encounter me or that I would ever encounter? And so one of the ways that I did that, Dennis, is I asked people too around me that God had already put in my life, and people that I really trust and that I really love and that I really think has my best interest at heart unconditionally. Those people, I talked to them and I said, what are some things that you think, that you see that God has kind of purpose for me to do? And they gave me some great feedback that was truly in alignment with what God had already been putting in my spirit. So it was more confirmation from them, Dennis, when that happened. Another thing that I did is I read a lot of books. Like I have here Rick Warren's book, The Purpose. I have thousands of books, but one of them is The Purpose-Driven Life. And in there is a journal as well. I don't get any proceeds from promoting that or anything, but I will tell you that in that book, I was able to learn what is my main purpose for being here. My purpose is to edify, to glorify, to magnify, to be the mouthpiece, to be the vessel that God has chosen, one of the vessels, I'm sure he has many, to be able to help make a difference in other people's lives. And Dennis, the way that I do that is because of where I've come from. My circumstances, my situations could have been pretty bleak, where it's like other people would feel like, well, if you come from this area or these circumstances, then life for you is going to be or whatever. But I actually had my mom who really made me believe that I could be anything I put my mind and my heart to. And so she cultivated that, and she helped put me in different environments that would help me become what she was pouring into me. And so I hope that I'm helping you by just saying, identify, pray, ask God. Have you taken the time to say, God, please reveal to me what you want me to do on this earth, and see what happens. What are some start paying attention to what's happening around you. What are your gifts? What are your talents? Write them down on a blank sheet of paper. What are things that you're good at? God put those things inside of you for a reason. And we all know what some of those things are, but we may not really focus on them or put some heavy thought towards it. On a blank sheet of paper, Dennis, write down what are some of your gifts and what are some of your talents. Can you sing? Are you compassionate? Are you a nurturer? Do you give people advice? Write all of those things down. And then check with some of your closest people and see if any of the things that they say you're good at matches the things that you've written down about yourself. Then pull just those things out and start seeing, well, how can I really utilize these particular gifts and make them become a reality? And again, you're going to be salting the earth by doing that, because guess what? God trusts you with that talent. He may not have given me or anybody else that same talent, but he trusts you. So don't let that go too far without you knowing your life's purpose and mission. All right, go ahead. Next question. Okay, so Nate said, are those Les Brown Jr.'s vision glasses? You know what? I saw, I think it was John Leslie. I saw that he did have some glasses. They may be very similar. I'm not sure if, no, these are not his. These are mine, but they may be similar to what he had. I'm not exactly sure. But hey, I love him, love the whole Brown family, and obviously Dr. Les Brown has allowed the Kim Jacobs Show to be here on his platform. And the Kim Jacobs Show is also on many other platforms as well. Believe in Your Dreams Network, as you all are seeing it here, and you're also seeing it on CTR Media Network and lots of different outlets that stream into families' homes worldwide. All right, let's see. No, those are not his glasses. These are mine. All right. Next question. Okay. How do you manage ministry, media, and marriage? Okay. So I can tell you how I handled that when that was the case in my life. So with ministry, media, and marriage, what I did was I worked within what we used to do. I can only share with you what we used to do. What we used to do when we were working together collaboratively from a marriage perspective, we would have our counseling sessions in the evening when we either put our children to bed, and we would have people come to our home and officially do counseling sessions with them then, but still be able to remain in the home. That made a huge difference from a ministry and marriage perspective. The other thing that we would do is we would meet people that needed to meet with us from a pastor's wife perspective at a restaurant, and we would get an extra table. And the table, we would bring someone that would help sit there to manage our children while we were in the meeting, but then we would not have to be away from our children at that time. And that, believe it or not, saved a lot of time when we're driving to a restaurant, driving back from a restaurant. Our children were able to be with us instead of just being dropped off somewhere while we went to handle ministry business. So from a ministry perspective, I think that really helped us as far as being able to still meet the needs of the people that were asking for help, but being able to do it in a way that we didn't have to sacrifice the time that we would spend with our children because they were still with us. And that made a big difference to them. Okay. Did that answer your question? Ministries, media, and marriage. Media, as far as media is concerned, I have gone into being a talk show host. And so a lot of times you'll see me on a lot of different platforms. And when that's the case, I pull my family in some regards, and in some regards, I keep some things very private and behind the scenes because my children don't always want to be in the forefront of everything that I may choose to do from a media perspective. So I'm very mindful of what I do share about my children and how it can impact them if I do too much in their opinion. It's like, please, for the love of God, do not put me out there every second of the day. So I'm mindful, and I ask for permission from my children when I post them. I don't just assume that they want to be blasted all over social media because they don't always. And so I'm very mindful and considerate of that. All right, next question. Any more questions so far? Lee is a trip. Lee like, girl, I don't even know who you are. I've never even heard of you. Guess what, Lee? That is perfectly fine. So God arranged for you to be able to cross paths with me right now. I'm Kim Jacobs. I'm the Balance Doctor. And just so you all know, I have 5 children. One of my children transitioned to be with the Lord. I have 4 that are still remaining here on this earth. I'm a dog mom, sports mom, children with special needs as well. So I wear a lot of different hats. I'm a business owner, and I'm also a managing director with eWomen Network. I am a talk show host. And most importantly, I am a child of God, and I am used to be able to help other people on this journey, Lee, called life, so that we're not totally overwhelmed and so stressed out that we can't balance and manage the things that God has entrusted to us. And so, whatever circumstances or whatever situations you may have encountered, Lee, I hope that some of the guests that I bring on the Kim Jacobs Show, which is a daily show, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on, and whatever platform you're looking at it on right now, continue to watch it and make sure that you know that every weekday I bring a special guest on that's sharing their story, their backstory. Who are they? What did they do? How did they overcome some of their circumstances or situations to be able to even be on the platform to speak their story to you? So that's what I do. I've had a talk show. I've been in the talk show world, I guess, for about 13 years, and in business ownership and speaking and traveling for 28 years. I traveled the country with Les Brown as international motivational speaker, and we've done trainings where we teach people how to actually start their own seminar business. And that's something that we used to go around and teach people. I actually have some footage that I'm now sharing with people as well. And it's a really old, but the content is still relevant today. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah. This is something that we did many, many years ago, how to start and succeed in the seminar business. And it's now available in an audio download. So if anybody's interested in that, just inbox me and I'll give you all of the details as to how you can get that. And let me see. Oh, then I ended up, just so you know, I filmed Lee at the old Jim and Tammy Faye Baker studio for a few years and had a show on PBS and the Word Network called Daily Balance with Kim Jacobs. And I'm trying to think, I was an NBC affiliate where they brought me in to do balance tips for families, and Coca-Cola would sponsor me and send me out to be able to go into the community and do balance makeovers for families. So these are all things that I've done over the years to have this talk show called The Kim Jacobs Show. All right. I hope that helped. We also won a Telly Award back there. So anyway, I hope you'll tune in now that you're getting the opportunity to just hear a little bit about me. And I would love to get to know you more as well, Lee. So inbox me and let's connect, okay? All right. I see Gladys. I see you backstage. So if you could show your camera, I'll pull you on. And once I see you, because sometimes I pull people on and people are like, I don't know where I am. I did not plan on even being on here. I don't know how I got on this show. Okay. So once I see you, I will pull you on. Let's see. RTG says, how can someone restore their balance? Great question, RTG. I think restoration, when we think of the word restoration, we're thinking of something that's been broken, something that's been torn down, that needs to be brought back up. And I think the best way to restore something is to find ways to plug into something differently than what you may have already done in the past. We know that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. So if we only know what we know, then we're going to only do what we know to do. We can't do any more than what we know. And like Les says, when you're in the picture frame, you can't see what's wrong because you're sitting there in the picture. Everybody else can see you, but you can't see yourself. So what I recommend, RTG Amber, is that you connect with some coaches that will help you be able to find where you're currently dealing with some breakdown regarding balance and identify, where do I currently waste my time? Where am I currently stressed out, overwhelmed? Assess that situation. And I don't know if you have, I'll put these books up here for a minute too. The book over there, Extreme Balance Makeover, is the first book that I wrote many years ago. And in there, I give you some tools on how to have better balance in different areas of your life. So make sure that you check that out. You can get a copy of it right electronically for $3.99. Just go into KimJacobsShow.com. But what I recommend that you do, RTG, is assess your current situation. You can't restore something if you don't know what's already happening. This is where I spend my time every single minute of the day. Where can I make adjustments to be able to get better in those areas that are torn down? Then coming up with a plan of action of what you're going to do differently for the next few days so that you're not constantly maybe talking on the phone excessively and maybe taking every single phone call right at that moment. Maybe you need to call people back. Maybe you need to DVR some shows instead of watching some shows. I don't know specifically your situation, but if you were to tell me your situation, I could assess it for you and break it down and do an extreme balance makeover session with you. So if that's something that you're interested in, reach out to me and I'll give you my strategy for us to be able to connect. All right. So you can have me as one of your coaches and I'll share with you how to reserve my services for that. Okay. And I will give you all my email. And I see you, Gladys. I'm coming to you next back there. Let me give you my email. It's Kim Jacobs Show at gmail.com. So if you want to reach out to me, Kim Jacobs Show at gmail.com, and request that I give you some type of quote for us to be able to connect and maybe do an extreme balance makeover session, and we can determine how many of those that you need. Okay. Looking forward to it, RTG Amber. All right, Gladys, I'm ready to pull you in. All right, I'm going to pull you in now. All right. Unmute yourself and I'll stop the music.
How are you doing?
How are you, Gladys? I know I haven't had the pleasure of meeting you yet, but it's a great pleasure to meet you. Let me stop this music background. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on. What a beautiful, I see your glasses. Can I borrow those?
I love yours.
We can just do a quick swap. Anyway, so Gladys, where are you from?
I'm based in Ireland, originally from Nigeria, but I've been living in Ireland for over 15 years now. Yeah.
Okay, now it glitched out. Tell me one more time. Where?
I'm based in the Republic of Ireland, Dublin. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. So what's your question for me?
Well, I was the one that asked how were you able to overcome your fear, but you answered it very well. I used to be a very frightful person, but I know most of the time that I've overcome things, I had to break through fear. But right now I'm about to step into another zone. I'm so afraid.
Okay, so now let's talk about this for a second. I know I already answered the question, but it always makes a difference when you answer it personally for the person. So give me the scenario and then I can really speak to your answer even better.
Yeah, I'm about to do something that is I'm afraid I'm afraid to speak out. Like I have this fear of speaking, but I know that God is calling me into the speaking industry. So I'm about to launch something big, but just to start, I'm having this heart palpitation, but I know it's going to be great because you said something. If it's something that's going to better my life, even though I'm afraid, I should disregard it. I should ignore it and just go for it.
Well, here's the thing. No matter how much we ignore it and just go for it, still when the rubber meets the road, it's like, I feel like I got choked again all of a sudden, right at the last minute before you got ready to do it. A thing that has helped me, a couple of things have helped me, but I don't know if I have lots of books, and one is called The Alter Ego Effect. And these are just books that I read so many books. Okay. But this one book is called The Alter Ego Effect. And in there, it's talking about all of these different alter egos and your personality and how you can kind of say, okay, well, what characteristics do I want to portray when I'm dealing with people, right? And I don't need an alter ego to be able to be what God called me to be. You don't have to have that, but it definitely just gives me that like extra when it's time to go forward. If I'm speaking at a graduation or if I'm speaking with Les Brown in front of a large crowd of people, you're like, he might be fine, but you're like, right? So for me, I'll just give you all, since you all are watching today, one of the things that I came up with my alter ego with some of the characteristics that I like from different components is my mom. Like, so I really like my mom's compassion for people. She has just this really strong, compassionate heart. And so one of my alter egos involves something to do with my mom. So when I speak, I want to make sure that I speak from a compassionate place. And immediately I get my mom in my mind. So I'm only using that as an example. But then there are other things that I put in there too. Like I like the charisma and the characteristics of Michelle Obama and how she's just our first lady over forever. We know she's like the first lady ever type of thing. So there are certain characteristics and then Oprah in the whole talk show world. Oprah commands your presence. She doesn't even break a sweat, and she's like, I know what I know, but she doesn't come across like she knows what she knows. So I have this whole thing that I say to myself before I ever go on stage to speak or come here on my show. And then I always say a prayer. And I ask God, no matter who my guest is, Gladys, I ask God to please use me and to please use my guests, to use our gifts and our talents that God has entrusted us with. Because whatever gifts God put inside of you, Gladys, the whole world misses out if you don't let that gift out so that we can benefit from it. So if you think about it from that perspective, that we need you. Kim needs Gladys. What are you going to be talking? Just give me a little snippet of what you're going to be doing to salt this earth.
Yeah, I have this ability to empower and lead people to be the best version of themselves. So I'm going to be speaking on that empowerment, women under 50s.
Under 50?
Under 50s, yeah.
See, so that's very specific. Women under 50 that may be struggling with their confidence or with their ability to feel like they're valued on this earth, then you're going to be teaching them how to use their gifts, their talents, how to let them know that they are needed and valued. And without them just pushing their gifts under the rug, we all miss out because that may not be my gift. And God has, in my opinion, Gladys, God has people that are designated just for you.
You're right.
They may not want to see me in my prom dress and all of, they may not want to hear from me or my red glasses, but Gladys is speaking directly to their need. So I never look at my gift as like, I can't do it like Gladys, or Gladys can't do it like Kim, or whoever else is in the audience. All of us should do it how we have been created to do it. And out of all of the billions of sperm that was available to fight their way through, you made it through. Gladys was formed. So some kind of reason that Gladys was formed makes the difference in this world. So if you stay in a bubble and nobody gets to ever hear of Gladys, then we all miss out.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm launching out on September. I'm launching it out September.
Well, I'm going to, in the private chat here, give you my phone number. And this is a US.
Okay.
This is a US number back here in the private chat. You can put the United States extension and we'll be connected on WhatsApp. Yeah. Better. And so please WhatsApp me and we can do videos, we can do messenger calls, whatever. Connect with me. I love to help you on your journey.
Wow. Thank you
so much. Role play. I'm big on role playing. So we can role play.
Wow. Thank you so much. Kim, you won't even believe this is the first time I'm actually seeing you, meeting you up, because I'm always following Les Brown. So anytime he's on, my phone just give me this pause sound. Les Brown is on. So I like, okay, let me listen. What does he have to say this time again? Because he pushes me to like reach my goals, you know. I don't know, when I saw you, I was like, okay, maybe this is one of his, maybe, you know, students or, you know. I was like, okay, let me listen. And then that's how I came here. And when you started speaking, my soul just opened. Thank you.
Wow. Well, I'm glad and honored to have you here today. Thank you, Gladys.
Thank you.
And listen, if any of you are interested in starting your own show from scratch, that is a training that I do. I'll play something for you all in a second, but you can visit kimjacobsconsulting.com and learn how you can actually share your own gift and your talent, your brand, your authorship, whatever it is, that whether you're an author, motivational speaker, business owner, and you want to get your brand out to the world, how do you do it? I actually do a training on that. So I'm going to share that with you all now. And Gladys, thank you for
Thank you.
being here today. I really appreciate it. Okay.
Thank you for having me. Bye, everyone.
Yeah. Bye-bye. All right. So listen, everybody, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove Gladys from the screen. And anybody else that wants to pop on, you're welcome to do that. No problem. And what I'm going to do right now is just take a few seconds of a break and let you hear from Dr. Les Brown and myself as we talk about how you can formally start your own show from scratch. All right. So let me pull that in and I'll let you see that, because many of you may have a show, or you may just want to learn how to actually use a professional platform like this. You may not want a show. Maybe you're a pastor. Maybe you are a professor and you want to just be able to do professional presentations. I also offer a training on that. And so let me know if this is something you would be interested in. We're going to hear from Dr. Les Brown. I am Kim Jacobs, the host of the Kim Jacobs Show, and you all know who's right here with me, Dr. Les Brown. How are you, Dr. Brown?
I'm blessed and highly favored. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time you want to give yourself a competitive edge. If you got a message, you have some knowledge or experience, a story, or if you want to do something adventurous and exciting with your life that can increase your credibility, expose you to millions of people, I am encouraging you to have your own talk show. I used to have a talk show. That one talk show catapulted me to another level. Now there are more people watching the internet, as you are aware, than television.
Yes.
Come on, somebody.
That's right.
Dr. Kim Jacobs, she trained people on how to have their own talk show. She will train you how to do that. And now with me partnering with her, now you have the combination of an audience, expansive audience. We have over 4 million people in all of our platforms, and the coaching you need to grow your business, to grow your multi-level marketing organization, to draw more attention to yourself in this noisy economy. Go ahead, Kim.
So in the training that I do, Les, I actually do a 6-week training. It's 1 hour per week. And each week I meet with the individuals one-on-one. We go through and we talk about all of the things that's necessary for a show to become a reality. We go from how to actually identify your focus area, what's going to be your ideal customer that's going to be tuning in. We'll talk about how to get guests, how to get sponsorship, how to go about getting your lighting, your branding, and your banners, and everything that you need to know. And guess what, Les? They own their own content at the end of the day.
And that's exciting. Now, if you're ready to create a shift in your business and in your life and increase your cash flow, I want you to go to kimjacobsconsulting.com. It's right there on the screen, kimjacobsconsulting.com. You know, people say opportunity knocks on every door. Right. No, opportunity stands by silently waiting for you to recognize it. So I want you to recognize that this is a time for you. This is an incredible time to have your own talk show. It establishes a level of credibility.
Yes.
And by being exposed to people on a regular basis, it allows you to strategically begin to impact and attract your audience. She can take you in a place in yourself that you can't go by yourself. So go to kimjacobsconsulting.com. That's kimjacobsconsulting.com. Did I say kimjacobsconsulting.com? Yes, you did. Very good. Make sure you go there and sign up for the coaching, and we're looking forward to working with you. You have something special. You have greatness within you. That's my story, and that's Kim's story, and we're sticking to it. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Okay, bye for now, Les Brown, right? Listen, I am honored to be able to work with you. If this is something that speaks to you, if you're interested in starting your own show, then I believe wholeheartedly from the experience that God has blessed me with that I can help you on this journey. And so just reach out to me. I've also provided my email as well, kimjacobsshow@gmail.com. And we can make arrangements for me to work one-on-one with you on your six-week journey. Then you'll graduate and you will also own your own content. All right. A lot of times people want to know how they can support the Kim Jacobs Show. And Cash App is Kim Jacobs Inc. So feel free. You can send a Cash App, and that this gives you the opportunity to pour into a program that is completely sustained by community contributions. So feel free to do that on some of the ways that are listed here. And we definitely thank you for your contributions to allowing us to keep this type of programming before you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, more questions. Did any more questions? Hey, if you all are enjoying this, then definitely hashtag Ask Kim. Let's go Ask Kim. Yeah, see this? Let me put this up for 1 second. Ask Kim, and we'll go back and look at some of your comments. If you want more segments like this in the future, make sure you hashtag Ask Kim. And I see that someone said they wanted to pop in the screen. Gladys, I see that you already did that. And anybody else, you can use the StreamYard link that I placed in the comment section, and it'll bring you right into the broadcast. All right, Mackenzie, go ahead and pop that next question up. Good day, ma'am. Kim, Lavinia says, how do I launch my multi-level marketing business on Facebook for the first time? Great question, Lavina. Now, I have done many network marketing companies and have risen to the top in them. What I recommend as far as launching it on Facebook for the first time is that you identify a professional platform, which that's one of the trainings that I offer, and make sure that when you do go live, you're going live on multiple platforms at one time versus having to go live here and then go live there and then go live there, and you're just burning yourself out. So I recommend that whether you go through me or whether you just go and get it yourself, wherever you get it from, that you would just be able to identify a platform to stream live on multiple outlets so that your notification to your community of your new MLM business is blasted out all at one time, and people are getting to learn about you and your services. And so being for the first time, as far as the first or the 50th time, I actually, when I had the opportunity to become a talk show host on the PBS station, I went into an abandoned building, which was this beautiful studio filled with lights, about 25 camera crew people, and in the middle was one seat, and they had the spotlight down on that one seat. And what they said to me is that, listen, we have a show. We're looking for a host. And we want you to sit down, Kim, and act like it's your 100th show. I did just that. I sat down and I said, hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, and welcome to Daily Balance with Kim Jacobs. Today, my guest is going to be Mother Love, and she's talking to us about how she developed diabetes, but she ended up realizing that, you know, a little bit of sugar can hurt you sometimes a little bit more than what you think. So, especially when you're having to deal with diabetes, according to her story and her journey. So I went on and I interviewed her. I interviewed Emmett Smith he's, you know, former Dancing with the Stars and former Dallas Cowboy, NFL Hall of Fame. I've interviewed Pat Smith, who has Treasure You and phenomenal second chances and program and things that she's doing with women across the world. Interviewed Dominique Wilkins and how he lived with as an NBA Hall of Famer, living with diabetes. And we know Dr. Les Brown, and talk with him about the importance of being able to share your story. George Frazier, the importance of networking. And so I recommend, Lavina, that you act like this is not your first Facebook Live, but this is your 100th Facebook Live. And that makes a difference when you put it out there that way. It's not like, hi, everybody, I'm new. I'm Lavina. No, you're not new because God has already put a lot of gifts and talents down inside of you over the course of your life. This may just be a new thing that you're doing, but you're not new. Okay. Hope that helps. Any other questions? Wow. I will be connecting with you, Kim. I look forward to it, Gladys. Look forward to it. Any other questions? Kim Jacobs Consulting. Go ahead and market it for me, Carrie. I don't know you, but I'm grateful that you're marketing it for me. Thank you. Ask Kim. Yes, Dennis. Hashtag that. Ask Kim. Ask Kim. Other comments that came in earlier. I see quite a few, Mackenzie. So pop some of them up if you will. I don't want to disregard any of the comments. I do have an amazing mom. Actually, I was interviewed recently, and one of the questions was, who has really impacted me significantly in my life and why? And I talked about my mom. And the thing that I said is that my mom she's such a compassionate person. She's a strong leader for me. And I've watched her over the years to just become who God created her to be. And she's lived by example. So I was able to watch my mom in a lot of different disturbing situations and how she handled it. And the way that she handled it is she would deal with it and move on. So that's something that is going to be one of my new signature talks. Deal with it and move on. So yes, I do have an amazing mom who's been a phenomenal example for me and has changed my life for the better always, all because of who she is and how she lived her life. So because of that, I'm able to deal with it and move on. All right, let's go. Who else? Have you written any books that may assist with women in ultimately being the best versions of themselves? I am looking to get out of the same mundane thing. Yes, Latricia. Let me show you a couple. I have either written myself book, and I'm also writing another one right now I just need to bring it to closure. It's been done and is a game changer. So I will get that out soon. But these are some of the books. You can take the comment down for a second, Mackenzie. Latricia, here are some of the books. It's called Extreme. Mackenzie, you can take the comment down for a minute so I can show where they can get it. Okay, so right there, Extreme Balance Makeover was my first book that I wrote. And in there are tips on how to be able to celebrate yourself, how to be able to have a schedule that would work for you from a balance perspective, how to be able to balance life if you're balancing life dealing with a teen, as a parent of a teen, how to balance life after retirement, how to balance life after divorce, after you lose a loved one. All kinds of tips are all poured into that book. This is How I Fight My Battles is a book that is written by Kenisi Twaru, and it's 14 authors. And in there, the authors are talking from a spiritual perspective, Latricia, how we have fought battles and from a spiritual perspective. So some battles are not just meant to be fought on this earth, but we need to be able to turn it over to somebody greater than us, whoever that is for your life. So that is a book. And in there, I wrote a chapter that is called What Lies Beneath. And there are some things that lie beneath the surface that we don't always see when we're fighting battles. There are minefields and different things way outside of what we post on social media. So that's in that book. Rise Up, Women Who Lead, Building Legacy. In that particular book, it's a group of women, 33, that are talking about how they're creating a lasting legacy for their families and their loved ones on this earth, and what some of those ingredients are to have that. In that book, my children write my chapter. And so you'll get to hear what my children have to say. Her children, she rises up, and her children call her blessed. And so that's my chapter in that book. And Women of War. That book is, again, peace in the midst of the storm, things that we go through in life, and how do we get through the war? How do we get through to the other side? In that book, I wrote a chapter, and it's called The Messenger of Hope, and how the messenger of hope was growing inside of me. I'll talk to you about that in that book. So yes, there are some books that you can definitely get right at kimjacobshow.com. And 3 of those are best-selling on Amazon as well. All right. Any other questions? What's my favorite talk show episode that I've done? Now, Mackenzie, that is the most difficult question ever. You know why? Because I have had the most amazing guests come on the Kim Jacobs show. And I don't know how to force rank that actually. I don't know the answer to that only because I've had I really genuinely cannot think of just like my favorite. Let me see. Hmm. Well, I don't even know when I did this interview. It's been many years ago, but one is when I'll tell you about a lady. Her name is Tawana Williams, and she has no arms, and she says unarmed but dangerous. And she talks about how living with no arms, how she still had her baby, and how she had to change the diapers and the everything that she had to do with her toes. And she literally made no excuses but look at this thing called life as just because I'm missing some body part does not limit who God created me to be and who God wanted me to be on this earth. So she's a woman who makes no excuses, only results, even though she's missing some body parts that we all may just take for granted, you know? And then another thing too is having, I'm sorry, I didn't got emotional now, but having some of the people that I have as experts on the Kim Jacobs show, some of these people are blind, and I have them come on and I have them as my vision experts. And the reason I do that is because they've become blind various ways. Some are born blind. One got in an accident that left him blind. He's in the military, and another one, his retina detached, and he's been blind for about 16 years at this point. But when they come on and they share their stories, if we can hear them speak about something that they live every day without sight, but they have so much vision on the inside of them, it is inspiring to hear these stories of these people and to know that they are connected with the Kim Jacobs show. And so I'm just honored. I'm honored and privileged and truly grateful to have people come on the show. And another final episode I'll tell you about is my dad. This is kind of funny. My dad, prior to him passing away, he had never been on any of my shows before, and my mom and dad were divorced, but he agreed to finally come on my show. I was so excited to have him. And we had a whole conversation backstage. And I said, Dad, okay, so here's how the show's going to flow. Okay. And time we hit live, he said, well, just get me live. And I got it. But I didn't know he meant that when we got live, he wasn't going to let me talk anymore. So we went live and I'm like, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Kim Jacobs show. Today, my dad, who says that when I was a teenager and I used to come to the bar where I would see him, he was in the same community, and I would do everything I could to motivate him and let him know that he was somebody, that dad, you're somebody. When he ultimately was left for dead and went on to become ultimately a bishop that is called the people's bishop in his community, how his life totally transformed. And he says that part of his motivation is when I would come to the local bar and motivate him. He's here today and I'm talking to him. I didn't get to say another word, y'all. My dad took the rest of the show for the entire hour and said everything he wanted to say. So that was another moment. Anyway. All right. Great question, Mackenzie. Okay. How did you process Gabe's passing? Okay, I think I'm gonna have to probably end on this note because I don't. Ah, how I processed Gabe's passing. First of all, I didn't know it was going to happen. It He was the bill of health in our family. And at 12 years old, I felt like he had his whole life ahead of him. And I was not, under any circumstances, expecting him to pass away at all. Uh, yeah. The night before he passed, we had a Bible study at church, and we talked about suicide. And I told everyone, and this is true even today, I still feel the same way, but I told everyone that I really couldn't understand why somebody would take their own lives. I just couldn't understand that. So I said, if anybody ever says that I took my own life, make sure you investigate because it's not true. And so that was on April 8th. And on April 9th, that evening, when he was playing a game of basketball with his dad and his brothers, and just a regular game of basketball. He had just been playing in the National Football playoffs in Florida and lots of great things that was on the horizon, I believe, for his life. He passed every sports physical, everything. But that day he collapsed and everybody rushed to get a local doctor that was in my neighborhood to come over. His family, they performed CPR and very professionally treated my son like they were his own child. The ambulance came and everybody, tried to rally to make some things happen. The paramedics did not give up. I got in the ambulance and they did. When I say gave it their all, I have never seen people give so much to a situation. And I talked to the doctor and I told the doctor, I said, listen, people donate organs. They sign up for organ donation all the time, right? And I would like to please take my heart. So this is how I dealt with part of it. Take my heart and place it in my son because I want my son to live a full life. I want him to live a full life. And of course, the doctor thought I was crazy, but I was like, I know what I mean. What I'm saying is take this heart and let it beat in him for the rest of his life, which then obviously means that I wouldn't be here for my 4 remaining children. But what I will say is that I had to make a conscious decision that even though I prayed and I prayed, I prayed every prayer I knew to pray. I prayed. And I said, God, I reminded God of some things that I already knew he did for other people. Because I witnessed it. People being shot 12 times, coming back into church with braces. And even though he chose, for whatever the reason, to not allow that to happen in my case, he was able. He was able to do it if he wanted to. For whatever reason, Gabe's time on this earth, it was going to be done. And so the first night that he stayed away from home, because he was always, I was very protective kind of mom. No, you're going to be right where people could come over here, but you're not going to all of this stuff. So it was the night that he stayed in the morgue, but that's it. I don't want to go too low. So that was his first night of staying away from home. Here's what I do know, Mackenzie, and that's a great question. The way that I process it is I had to make a decision to say, hey, you know what? I have 4 children still remaining on this earth that need me to pour into them and to be here and to celebrate them and to cheer them on and to be their advocates and to help raise further productive citizens in this life. Gabe was like an angel walking on this earth because the coroner told me that in all of the years of him being a coroner, which was many years, that what Gabe had, there was no human way possible for him to live outside of the womb. He should have passed away right when he was being born. But God had a different plan. So I think it's all in how we look at it. Technically speaking, I had an angel that walked this earth really as like in an angelic form, to the point where he officially was the anti-bullying mediator. He helped merge relationships. He helped other people know that they were somebody. And everybody that met him felt like they were his best friend. So I think it was a gift that God gave me to have Gabriel walk this earth. And on this week, you're going to hear a story of some things that's happening later this week. And I'm not going to reveal it all because I don't want to timestamp this particular video. Yeah. Over 1,000 or so people came to his homegoing celebration of life. And over 100 young people came up and accepted Christ as their personal savior all because of Gabe and the life that he lived on this earth. So how I process it as a mom, Mackenzie, is I know that Gabe is still celebrating with us from heaven every single day, and he's cheering me on. I feel his presence. I feel his endorsement. I feel him being proud of me as his mother. And there are so many different things that's happened on the death anniversary date that are signs for us. And I'm not some mystical person, but signs for us that he's smiling from heaven. And ultimately, I know I will reunite with him again. That's my ultimate way of dealing with it, that he's not gone forever. I just got to get to heaven when it's my time to get there. I'm not going to go any sooner than God ordains for me to be there, but I do plan on reuniting with my son again. And I'm so grateful that I did stay here on this earth to be here for my children. They needed me so much. My remaining children needed me in every aspect of their lives. All right. That was a hard question to end on, huh? All right, everybody. I don't know what else is, anything else that's going on. I'm kind of, at this point, I don't know what I'm doing here. All right. Anything else? Oh, God bless you, Kim. Your purpose preserved you for others. Yeah. Thank you, Latricia. I appreciate it. Any other comments? Okay. I didn't mean to make you cry. Oh, no, you didn't make me cry, Mackenzie. I love you and I appreciate you as well. I appreciate the opportunity to serve you all. And I do get to keep Gabe's heart beating. GabesHeartFoundation.org. GabesHeartFoundation.org. I get to do random acts of kindness, not just me, but a large group of people around the country are supporting Gabe's Heart Foundation. And we get to do random acts of kindness called Doing It Gabe's Way. We serve people in grocery stores, gas stations, uniforms, bills, medical bills. People have been reaching out about all manner of things, and we're doing it Gabe's way. That's how I get to keep his heart beating. All right. Any other comments, questions? We're going to get ready to, let's see. I saw so many comments. God bless you. My aunt Irma is one of my angels, and she's on here today. God bless you, Aunt Irma. God bless you, Aunt Sadie. Y'all have been a part of my life and showed up for everything in my life forever. And so thank you for everything that God created you to be. Who else? This sounds like a movie. Shantae said, yes, it sounds like a movie. All right. All right. Okay. All right, everybody. Listen, make sure you all continue to watch the Kim Jacobs Show. And if you haven't already, like and follow us. Go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Kim Jacobs Show. We're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. So I encourage you to do so. And if you haven't become a patron, make sure you go to patreon.com/The Kim Jacobs Show. We do also have our YouTube channel as well, and you can subscribe there. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed Ask Kim segment today. We'll do this periodically. And if you like it, hashtag Ask Kim. I'll come on and answer some of your questions like I did today. God bless you. Have a great day. See you again at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on. Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of The Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on The Kim Jacobs Show.